Everything that goes bump in the night should be ignored.
So Maria, I see you got yourself together and decided to come back and finish this journey. I'm aware of the phone calls and threatening emails you've gotten, and I've received them as well. Just know, the closer you get to the truth, the more intense it'll become. Do I think you have to worry about those threats? No. Because if they were legit, you wouldn't be here right now to talk to me again. So, now where do we leave off? We want to wrap up my first assignment in North Dakota region. Yeah, I love that place. It was beautiful. Right out there in North Dakota by the Theodore Roosevelt National Park. Oh, the beautiful trees and the grass and the rolling hills. Bright blue skies. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. In wintertime, the snow set in. Wicked cold, but still just a silent beauty about it. So, go back to that debriefing we had with Sergeant Blue at the Denny's. And he told me I wouldn't be part of my job at that location was done at that hotel room. That I would be part of the rebuilding crew, just the cleanup crew, but my next one was going to be a real test. It was a solo assignment, and I'll never forget the words he asked me. He said to me, "Old man, let me ask you a question. What do you do about something that doesn't die, can't be killed?" He said, he thought about it for a second, he paused, he goes, "The best we can do is contain it." So from there, he said he would call me the next day. I believe that would be on a Tuesday. So Tuesday morning around 8 a.m. I got the phone call to meet him at a secure facility, mine at North Dakota. Come alone, bring my assigned sidearm and tactical gear that was provided to me. And I did. I did what I was told. I took orders. I obeyed them. I listened. Money was too good to screw up by being, a rebel. So I went to meet him, and he goes, "You usually get paid $1,000 a week." He goes, "But for today, you're gonna get paid $1,000. But I gotta tell you, just for today, it's gonna be a long, hard trip you're gonna go on." And as I was sitting there, I saw a gurney, like you have on an ambulance, come wheeling by, body underneath a thick white blanket. And as he's rolling by, familiar old white, chalk white, skeletal-like arm flopped down with the thick blue veins and grabbed a hold of my arm so hard, squeezed with everything it had. The best I could say is it felt like your arm being stuck in a vice and being squeezed tighter and tighter. Finally, it let go and flopped down to the side, and another person slipped the arm back into under the blanket, and I looked at my arm, and there was bruises on my arm. Each individual finger, you could see there were long, thin bruise marks on my hand, like obviously, this individual grabbed it and squeezed it. And I said, I thought he was passed. No. Sergeant Blue said, no, son. It's not passed. Just sedated. So we went into this dark room. It was kind of like a warehouse. Just one light flickering on and off, on its way to dying. Almost like a sign. Sign of things to come. Things to not be spoken of or told. In the center of the room was a 55-gallon steel drum. And it wheeled the gurney over it and slid this body, person, whatever you want to call it. I don't believe in vampires or whatever, but this sick individual, first time I ever got to see him, he had to be about 6 foot tall. Long, stringy, gray hair. Kind of reminds you of a dirty old wet mop, and the smell coming off of this individual. Like rancid meat. Like a package of hamburger that had been at a picnic and left out in the sun all day long and forgotten to be cooked. Just ripped at your guts. You wanted to wrench out with every ounce you had. Took all the control I had just to keep my breakfast from that day within me. It slid into the barrel with a kind of slimy flop. Like if you had some wet, nasty vomit on a plate and dropped onto the floor today. Just the sound alone made your blood and flesh curdle and goosebumps appeared on my arm. Once it went into the barrel, I said to myself, good Lord, what the hell have I got myself into? With that, 2 other men came over with a wheelbarrow, and they proceeded to seal the wheelbarrow up with cement all the way to the top, leaving just enough room for a metal lid to fit on the container, of which they welded it shut. Nothing could get out. The door, Sergeant Blue, I says, is he? And he said, no. Like I said, son, some things don't die. They can only be contained. With that, 2 men came in with thick leather chaps, welded helmet on, and thick gloves, and welded the lid shut. After that, they came in with a forklift and loaded it up on a forklift off of the pallet it was sitting on, loaded it into the back of a steel truck, a straight truck, not a tractor or trailer, just a big truck with a box on the back of it. Sergeant Blue says, give me a packet of directions of where I had to go, checkpoints I had to go to meet him to let them know that everything would be all right. And he said, you don't deviate from this route. Whatever you do, get to these checkpoints on time. If you're gonna be late, take the satellite phone, call me, and let me know immediately. But whatever you do, don't be late and not call in, because while that compartment in the back is bomb-proof, cab of the truck is not. And our instructions are, if we do not hear from you at given times, we are to incinerate that truck and you will go up. Cargo will remain safe, but you and everything else will be incinerated along with the truck. I shook my head nervously in response, kind of letting them know I understood. what I was doing, you don't ask. Keep your mouth shut. And he handed me a stack of envelope with some cash in it for gas and tolls. And with that, he left and proceeded to get myself ready in the truck, and I read the directions and instructions. The instructions had me heading southwest to a little place known as Lake Mead. It was X along the shoreline of that Lake Mead. And I decided I was going to leave, but I wasn't leaving right then, and I was told to travel at night. So around 9 p.m. when it was dark, I got myself a sandwich from a Choke and Puke, and a big glob of jug, one of those big, like, I call them keg of iced coffee. Thermolated cup too big to fit in any cup holder, but stable enough to sit on a seat next to me. I fired up the truck and did all my inspections to make sure that everything was in order and safe, and looked at my logbooks in case the DOT was out there, and I checked off, and instructions said put up my placard saying biohazardous chemicals. So I made sure they were exposed, and I looked at my manifest, and the manifest read biological waste. And I made sure the load was secure in the back and tied down, strapped in so it wouldn't flip over. And I noticed on the containers, they were just straight black containers with triangles on this that said biological hazard. Now I knew what was in that container. Can't explain what was in that container by any means whatsoever. Nobody would believe me even if I tried. So I shut the door, put a padlock on it, and proceeded to jump in the truck and start my journey to Lake Mead. Trip was uneventful. Stopped once for more diesel fuel and a refill on my keg of coffee. And thoughts were racing through my mind. What the hell am I doing? This poor man locked in that container, going to a depth. I wouldn't call it death, because Sergeant Blue said what you can't kill can only be contained. And all I could think about was, what I'm about to do is to take this living creature, associate him as a man, looked like a man, I don't know if it was a man, male or female. Didn't go that far, the look wasn't that interested. But I had to know that I was going to take this individual and drop them into the bottom of a lake. I said a prayer, Lord, please forgive me for what I'm about to do. That whole night I drove on, my stomach just wrenching all night long, sweating profusely. The nerves got the best of me. Every corner I go around and see taillights behind me, I deliberately put my four-ways on and slow down, let them pass me, and I'm no idea if this individual is part of a bigger organization and more things to come. No idea whether he had loved ones or cult members looking to protect him or her. Late that night, I reached the docks in Lake Powell, and there was a boat on it. I kind of had a stinking suspicion the boat was meant for me. Oddly enough, the boat was called the Old Man. And when I got there, I pulled up to the dock, opened the back of the truck, dropped the lift gate, went in with a hand crank pallet mover, unsecured the pallet, and dragged the pallet out. Muscled it as best I could. The thing had to weigh at least 600-700 pounds with all the cement in it. Into the back of the boat. It hit, and the whole boat just shook violently. I thought, my God, I'm going to sink here at the dock. I'm not even going to get a chance to get this damn container off. I come in and there's an envelope waiting for me in the cab of the boat. Black boat, simply dark gray letters saying Old Man. The instruction said, give me the coordinates where I had to take this boat to. Not any specific point, not any landmarks or anything, just a spot out in the lake, a little cove where, out of the way, people swim every day, wouldn't know what's going on below them. And the instruction said, put on a life jacket. I am to sink the boat and swim back to shore. I'm a decent swimmer, but I'm no Olympian by any means. I mean, yes, I was thinner at that point. Way better shape than I am now, but I still no Olympian by any means. No Olympian. Life jacket on board the boat, but not a normal life jacket. Life jackets are usually bright colors, so easily spotted. Mine was dark. And I looked at the boat and noticed no lights on the boat. No lights whatsoever. Just a seat, steering wheel, flat bottom fiberglass boat with a red button that said do not push, a start button with no keys, GPS with the coordinates on it. So with that, I hit the start button, fired it up, followed the GPS coordinates on the map. It guided me to a spot in a cove, depth of about 500 feet, dark black, night black, no stars. So dark you couldn't see more than 5 feet in front of you. Somebody could be staring there and you'd never see them. So with that, step 2 said, take the red button, push in, turn the dial to 10. 10-minute countdown. With that, push the button in, set it to 10. Said a prayer. Didn't realize it, but I hadn't been breathing. I stopped my breathing. Jumped in the water. Started swimming back towards where the truck was. And that's when I noticed I hadn't been breathing and gasped. I mean, I'm so loud, I'm sure anybody within a mile would have heard me. As I started swimming back towards my truck, thinking of what I was about to do, what I had just done. And with that, there wasn't a huge explosion. Just a loud pop and the water started bubbling. As I looked behind me, the boat and all of its contents slowly dipping down below the water. The back went down first. And as I turned and looked over my shoulder, I could just see the tip of the boat slide under the water. And I thought to myself, good to see you, Angela. Containment. I didn't kill anybody. I just contained it. I swam back to my truck. It took me forever. Again, I'm not an Olympic swimmer. 10, 15 minutes later, who am I kidding? More like an hour or 2 hours and 15 minutes later, I got back to the truck. Drenched, wet, shivering cold, just barely above hypothermia. Freezing. Took the life jacket off, ripped off my clothes, and there I am standing out in the middle of a parking lot with nothing on but my soaking wet BBDs. Luckily, they gave me a jumpsuit to put on inside, so needless to say, that's what I did. I put on my jumpsuit with nothing underneath. You better now, Marie. You ready to continue to finish this up here? So, got back to the truck, got into the jumpsuit that was provided, and packed up my wet clothes in a garbage bag. Threw them in the truck, read the instructions of where to go and drop the truck off. And I started to head out. And I had a radio in before I left. I said, deposit has been made at the bank, and Eagle is returning back to its nest. That was the code word. So if anybody was listening, they wouldn't know what was going on. So Eagle has returning back to the nest, and deposit been made to the bank. It's my last transmission. The ride home was very uneventful. Dropped the truck off, and I got a phone call that night from Sergeant Blue saying, it was my first test, my first job, and passed the test, passed the success, that I'd have a full-time permanent position that he'd talk to me more about for my next assignment. I got more responsibilities coming. Yippee. Still didn't help the way I feel about what I did. I couldn't sleep for days and weeks on end. Kind of put that whole thing behind me in the past about it until, recently, like meat started dropping and barrels started appearing. Now, the barrels they found had some skeletons in it and human remains. They didn't find that sealed barrel with cement. I haven't heard any reports about it. Not that it would ever make the news. If it did, they would cover that up. So I wasn't too worried about it. And the boat, they did find. That did make the news. They found the boat sunken down there, and it was removed and destroyed as they claimed mobsters. Mobsters did it for whatever reason. Their cover story was, I don't remember if it's whatever the cover story was. So much time had passed. They said they couldn't prove anything anyway. They said it took back from the 80s when we all knew damn well it wasn't from the 80s, newer than that, but whatever. Masses like to believe the simplest, most easiest thing that leaves a little bit of mystery behind it. So we went with that. And I had to live with that for the rest of my life. I'll be honest with you, Marie, the only reason why I'm talking to you is because nobody will believe these stories anyways, especially from your magazine, but I know my time is not long, and I need to get these experiences off my chest in hopes of forgiveness. I've seen what's on the other side. I've seen where I'm going when I'm no longer alive. And I don't want to do there just any chance that I can better myself and relieve myself of this guilt. I'd rather let you know so that somebody knows. And the best advice I can give you is try not to be rememberable. Do whatever you can not to be rememberable. It's the easiest way to keep yourself safe from anything happening to you. Be unremarkable. Disappear. Don't draw attention to yourself. I don't care. I don't have much time left or anything to lose. For me, it's a matter of getting all this off of my shoulders. Now, if you take that and process that, you want some more, come back and meet me and we'll talk again. So until then, be safe, be unrememberable and unremarkable. God bless and safe journeys, Marie.